Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gashi's Kaiman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. Mount Kenya seems to be rejecting Abraham Kithure Kindiki, the Interior Secretary. They seems not to agree with the proposal of the 69 members of parliament. They seems to reject the appointee of William Samoei Ruto. When the members of parliament from Mount Kenya converged and said that Kindiki would be their spokesman, the Kindiki would be the link between them and William Samoei Ruto, many people expected that Kenyans, especially from the Rift Valley, would join in celebration. But this is not the case. If you look at the situation, there are reasons why Kindiki is not actually being accepted on the ground. Number one, in my view, is because from August, the people of Mount Kenya love Jaba. The people of Mount Kenya loves courageous people. You don't need to go far. Look at Jomo Kenyatta. Look at Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Look at Stanley Jido Matiba. And you remember that one of the greatest challenge that Mwai Kibaki faced is because he was referred to as a fence-sitter when he was competing for the presidency. He was referred to as General Kigwea. So when you look at Kithure Kindiki is a lightweight politician. In fact, people would prefer Mother Karua to Kithure Kindiki. People would prefer somebody like Kabogo than Kithure Kindiki. People would prefer somebody like Rigiji to a lightweight politician. In fact, a number of Kenyans have even gone to the social media to imitate Kithure Kindiki with his soprano voice. And when I look at it, you see this one is satirical, but it's a way of passing the message and rejecting William Samoei Ruto's appointee. Number two, in my view, is because of the feeling of betrayal. William Samoei Ruto has betrayed the mountain. There is nothing that can come from William Samoei Ruto's mouth and get backing from Mount Kenya people. You remember the way he promised to finish all the projects that were started by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Remember the way he promised guaranteed minimum returns for farmers' produce. You remember the way he promised so many things, but he has never delivered anything. So the fact that people feel that they have been betrayed, they cannot accept anything that is coming from William Samoei Ruto. And therefore, Kindiki, not that he's a bad person, but he's a victim of William Samoei Ruto's unpopular policies. Number three, in my view, is because of punitive taxation that Kenyans are experiencing. At no other time in history has Kenyans complained about high taxation like they are doing. If you go to Nyamakima, for example, today, many business people are complaining. If you go to Gikoba, the same. If you go to Kirinyaga, Gikoba, name it. And when you go to these places, you realize that most of the business here, the majority of people who are operating business here are the people from the Mount Kenya. So the fact that they are feeling the heat, the fact that their businesses are collapsing, the fact that starting a business is becoming very, very difficult is something that is making also Kindiki, or that proposal by William Samoei Ruto, to be rejected in the mountain. The other reason, in my view, is because of time. When you look at the number of years remaining, we have less than 3 years. Less than 3 years, and then somebody is being fronted to come in office, and maybe, although it's not an office, literally it's not an office, but from August, it is an office which is there, but is not having physical offices, but is there because the office that is going to hold in his mind, because that office is in mind, and he want to be, William Samoei Ruto want that office to be the minds of Kenyans, that his deputy, his point man in Mount Kenya is Kithure Kindiki. That is the reason why he is being rejected. The other thing is that people feel that William Samoei Ruto is imposing a kingpin in the mountain. And William Samoei Ruto, somehow, he is telling the people of Mount Kenya that he is the one to determine their future. He's the one to determine the direction the politics of Mount Kenya are going to take. And anything, when William Samoei Ruto now try to ignore the matrix, the matrix of Mount Kenya, you realize that people tend to see him as a stranger. There is no way you can come and impose somebody and you don't come from that place and then expect people to follow you blindly. Again, if you look at the ground is literally very, very hostile. If you look at what is happening on the ground, you realize that people are agitating for change. If you look at the youth, for example, the youth are feeling that it is their time. If you listen to what everybody is saying, you realize that even Kindiki himself, even accepting that mandate, I think he need to rethink and maybe reject. And people are being reminded of the history. You know, history is a very good teacher. Remember the issue of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the way Gachagua was used. And now people are telling Kithure Kindiki, chuga sana, kwa sababu ukiona yale ambayo mwenzako alipitia, hata wewe unaweza ukapitia yale. Kwa hivyo ukiangalia utaona kwamba sehemu za Mlima Kenya, Kithure Kindiki has been rejected.
Tukaambiwa kuna mkutano hapa River ni pande ya Murang'a, na tukaambiwa MCs tukuje sisi wote, na tumefika sisi wote, tulikuwa tumejaa hapa. Lakini ile agenda tulitoa jana si agenda ambayo tumeikuta leo kwa meza, kwa sababu huyu speaker kwanza wa Embu na ni rafiki yangu ametuzungusha hivi akatuzungusha, lakini end result anataka tuelekee pale tu mahali ya kuendorse Kithure Kindiki. Sisi kama watu wa Kirinyaga hiyo tumekataa. Hakuna mtu taendorse sasa hivi, kwa sababu mnakuja kuendaise ma MCAs ati mkituambia ati welfare yetu itaangaliwa sijui, na tuliambia president mwenyewe, tukamwambia shida zetu kama MCAs, tukamwambia magavana na tukaria na mambo ya ward based na mambo zingine. Lakini kama lazima tufuate huo mdogo wa siasa interior kufikia president, watu hiyo maneno ikae. Hata niliambia watu wangu hatutaki hiyo mishahara, ati tunaambiwa tutapewa hiyo maneno ya welfare after an year. Siwache hiyo maneno ya welfare ikae, na endorsement pia wasahau. Na hakuna mtu taendorse, kwa sababu sisi tunajua watu wawili, president wetu na deputy wake Rigathi Gachagua. Na sisi kama watu wa Kirinyaga, sisi tunapenda Rigathi Gachagua. Na hii mchezo tuko nayo hiyo tusahau. Kithure Kindiki deal na zile mashida tuko nazo za insecurity. Kuna mwalimu kwangu amerepewa hapo Gatwe ama ni Gateway. Hiyo maneno hata amjangalia, pombe imerudi. Na pia tulikuwa na cases mingi ya insecurity pale kutu ya Wesame. Sudili na hiyo kwanza, alafu maneno mengine endorsement tutaangalia huko mbele 2027. Lakini kwa sasa sahau.